Hi there, and welcome to Understanding Your Business Better, a podcast by Telkom Business. I'm your host, Taste Champagne, and I'm joined in the studio by Mr. Khazamola Maluleke. How are you today?
I'm okay, Taste, and how are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's great to have you. And I understand that you are the product portfolio manager for Telkom Business.
Absolutely.
Which means that you're the guy we're going to be chatting to about risk as well as cloud solutions for small businesses today.
Yes, yes, indeed.
All right, let's dive straight in. So, Mr. Maluleke, we live in an age where it's the internet, everyone has a smartphone as well as a computer. And we've all heard this buzz term, the cloud solutions, cloud computing, etc., etc. For those of us that don't know, what is the cloud?
Absolutely, Taste. The word cloud is actually trending in the market, and most people probably don't know what the cloud means. So let me just unpack it nicely for you. You probably have used the cloud more than once before. Maybe just a question to you, Taste. Have you ever used Google Docs just to store your assignment, as an example?
Yeah, no, I use Google Docs to store assignments, photos, videos, any and everything.
100%. That's exactly what cloud is. So Netflix, as an example, all those Netflix movies, they actually stored in the cloud environment. The emails like your Gmail, your Yahoo, all those things are actually cloud services. So in a nutshell, what a cloud service is actually any software or service that is actually not really stored in your own device, but actually running on the internet. And all those videos and texts and images that you normally see on the internet, one way or the other, they actually stored somewhere on a third-party data centers within the servers. And those service providers will be the service providers like your Microsoft. So basically, so the cloud actually allows you to access any information from any device, anywhere, anytime.
So if I'm understanding what you're saying correctly, you know, back in the day, you'd have a flash drive or you would have a hard drive. You'd have everything that you wanted to work on that hardware device. And what the cloud is doing is it's eliminating that and it's putting it all digitally or, you know, in a realm of the internet where you don't need physical hardware anymore. Correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. And in fact, the cloud is actually now eliminating the risk of losing all your data at the same time. So with a hard drive, a lot of things can actually happen. You can leave it lying somewhere on the ground. It can actually get lost. But with the cloud environment, everything is actually stored in the third-party service providers' data centers where you can actually access it anywhere, anytime. So you don't need to store anything on your phone, your device. So everything's actually offsite where you can actually access it at any time using any device. So you don't necessarily need to own a device. You can actually use a third-party a laptop or mobile phone to actually access any data that is actually stored on the cloud.
With that being said, though, in that how we are going to be depositing large amounts of information as well as data, you know, files, etc., do you think it's safe to have all that valuable information on the cloud?
Absolutely, Taste. And in fact, that's actually what we are encouraging as a business for customers to start migrating from on-premise solution to the cloud, simply because of the security measures that cloud service providers put together. They're actually very obsessed with security measures. They have robust cybersecurity solutions in place to make sure that your data is actually kept safe. I can actually give you an example of how how safe it is to actually work with cloud service providers. One of the best things that they have is that their servers actually have built-in firewalls, as an example, to make sure that any traffic that goes into their data center is actually monitored on a 24-hour basis. One of the other issues, which is very important for most customers, is the fact that service providers, like cloud service providers, they've got a redundancy that is actually built in the design. So they're making sure that they've got 3 different data centers where your data is actually copied, so that if one data center goes down, you still have access to your data. But I think the last thing that is actually very important, it will be the issues around security updates on the server. Because say for example, if you've got your data that is stored on-prem, there might be some security risk there, because if your systems are not up to date all the time, then it becomes a big problem. So with the service providers or cloud service providers, that part is actually taken care of on your behalf. They push those updates and make sure that the servers are actually up to date with all security apparatus. I'll give you an example. With you and I most probably get notification on our cell phones, as an example. Some of us will just get upset and just ignore it. Those updates are actually designed to actually bring some tools that will actually keep you safe from viruses and latest malware.
Oh, because obviously criminals not taking a break, cybercrime is not taking a break, constantly upping the game. So naturally software needs to keep up as well in order to accommodate that. And it's so interesting that you touched on obviously keeping people safe from cybercrimes and malware, etc. Because what we've noticed is that there's a huge spike in crime in festive, and I don't think that cybercrime is out of that equation. So what can small businesses that have adopted these cloud solutions do in order to avert a little bit of that risk?
Well, absolutely. I think the most important thing will be for small, medium businesses to actually have security measures in place within their businesses. They need to have cybersecurity solutions which can actually avert some of this attack. Let me just take you back in terms of the cybersecurity landscape within South Africa. It has been reported that every hour there's 577 malware attacks within South Africa alone. It has been estimated that the damage caused by ransomware, globally, it will actually reach $20 billion this year alone. It has also been reported, that the cyber threats has actually escalated 5 times in the last 24 months. So you can really see that the hackers actually hard at work, trying to cause damage and extort money via the ransomware and all that. But in South Africa alone, phishing attacks, for example, they actually account for 53% of all the cyber threat in the country. So I think it will be very much important that businesses consider cybersecurity, value proposition to make sure that they stay safe. One of the advice that we normally give to customers or businesses is to make sure that they actually partner with service providers that will actually ensure that their data are actually encrypted, because if the data is encrypted, it makes it harder for the hackers to actually access that kind of information. I know that hackers thrive when the data is not encrypted.
Well, that's very interesting that you did it in such a way that focuses on small to medium businesses, because a lot of businesses don't necessarily always know where to start when looking for these products and solutions. So what packages and offers are there out there for small businesses that are looking to adopt these cloud solutions?
Well, we do have, likely from Telkom point of view, we do have a lot of cloud solutions. We have partnered with industry players in the market, the likes of Zoho as an example, which really gives us a number of business applications. We have got 46 different business applications within the Zoho product suite. We also partnered with Mobis as an example, which really provide us with the opportunity to take to market a campaign management solution as an example. But most importantly, the Black Fork that we partnered with is a cybersecurity solution, which really will help customers to stay safe during this cyber threat and during the pandemic.
And now that we've heard all the different options that customers can explore, do you think that all businesses can adopt clouds?
Absolutely. So I think the cloud environment is actually suitable for all businesses of all sizes. What is very important is that with the cloud, it actually gives them a greater security and also governance over their customers' data. But what is very much important is the fact that they don't have to worry about maintaining their own on-premise, kind of solution. So with the cloud environment, the responsibility now lies with the cloud service provider to make sure that, on a 24-hour basis, all the data is actually monitored to make sure that they don't allow any malicious activities that might potentially happen and hackers to actually try and access the information. So I think, yes, all customers can actually access the cloud from all different sizes.
Well, that's great that it's something that's open for different sizes and categories of businesses to access. What are the different types of clouds that businesses can use?
Well, we have a whole lot of different, cloud, environment from your public cloud, which is actually available via the internet, available to all customers. But you also have private cloud, which in most cases you find that big businesses, for example, don't have their own data centers in the business. So that cloud environment is actually dedicated to their own businesses. But what we have also seen now going forward, we have started seeing hybrid cloud environment, which is the combination of the private and public cloud, whereby one element, one part of the environment is actually accessible by the public. And the other environment is actually just the private environment for the business. So there's a whole lot of cloud environment that customers can consider, for their own businesses.
Well, that's really great. So from a consumer point of view, if I wanted to walk into telecom business today and walk out with a cloud solution for my small startup business, what would you recommend?
Well, Taste, there's a whole lot of cloud solutions in our environment, which actually can cater for all different needs for businesses. For starters, our cloud solutions start from as little as 15 Rand. For 15 Rand, you can actually get a fully fledged HR management solutions, which we call as Zoho People. For 99 Rand, for example, you can actually get a fully fledged CRM system, which will actually help you to actually close some of the deals and sales deals in your environment. So our solutions are very cost effective, anything from 15 Rand upwards, depending on the business size and the needs. And what is also very nice about our solution, because they're actually subscription-based solution. So it simply means that you buy licenses on demand. So the more licenses we have, the more then the solution cost. So if you are a one-man show, because we also have small office, home office type of businesses that we're actually looking after, you might find that it's just 3 people in that environment. They probably just need 3 licenses, and for that 3 licenses, kind of value proposition, and that's what we're talking about 15 Rand as an example that you could be paying.
And it's very encouraging to hear about how affordable these cloud solutions are and how accessible they are to small businesses. So from someone who is starting a small business now, who might not necessarily see the value of a cloud for their business, what do you think is one of the biggest benefits that they might be overlooking?
Well, Taste, there's a whole lot of benefits for using cloud solutions. And one of the biggest benefits is the fact that it saves you money, it saves you time, and it boosts productivity, it improves your collaborations, and in the process, it actually promotes innovations. One of the obvious benefit for the cloud solution is the flexibility in terms of cost, in terms of usage. I've already indicated that most of the cloud solutions are actually they're actually subscription-based solutions, which then means that customers are able to pay as they go. So there's a lot of benefits around that. But in terms of saving money, as an example, you actually now customers are starting to move from the on-premise, kind of value proposition to the cloud, which then save them money, because the total cost of ownership now is actually going down every day. As an example, with the on-premise solutions, you first need to buy hardware, you need to have a software, you need to have a manpower to make sure that the software is installed in your PC or on the system. But you also need to maintain the solution. And that becomes a costly exercise. So that's where the difference is between the cloud solution and the on-premise solution. It is actually very much reliable in the fact that you can never actually go down. So the issues around the system being down is actually a thing of the past. I've already indicated that most service providers actually have a redundancy built in their design, making sure that if one data center is down, your data is still stored in another data center. So you're always have all your data at any time, at any given time. But I think what is the most important one of all of them is the fact that business continuity, as an example, which is very important, that even when there's a disaster that happens, you're still able to carry on with your business. With the cloud service providers, for example, they guarantee that if something goes down, they'll be able to recover some of your data within a specific time. So there's backup in place. So those are some of the benefits, for small, medium businesses and large businesses at large. The fact that there is always be a business continuity.
Well, I certainly think that this conversation has shown me that clouds are actually something that's useful to small businesses, medium businesses, and large businesses alike. And it's also shown us how affordable and accessible it is. So we want to thank you as well for taking the time as well to chat with us.
Thank you for having me, Taste.
And that is a wrap. Be sure to tune in next time on the next installment of Understanding Your Business Better, a podcast by Telkom Business. Thank you to our sponsors, Telkom Business, as well as you, Mr. Maluleke, for joining us and also just getting us up to speed on cloud solutions, as well as mitigating some of the risks that come with adopting some of these digital resources. Next time, we're going to be delving into having the adequate tools to get the adequate results. So you don't want to miss it. But until next time, bye-bye.